When a circle gets drawn out enough and expands itself beyond the circumference of your canvas, it becomes a sun. And that sun will shine as if it was never meant to, but did anyway. Within this sun's rise into the sky resides a sunrise that will surprise its own origin, as if its glowing genes could not have foreseen this genetic development, and this is relevant to how we grow. To how we grow, to how we show the unintended linear dimensions of our minds, the kinds of feats that can happen when we cease to compete with each other, when we desist in resisting those persisting parts of ourselves, when what we are seeing, feeling, being, and doing is not left stewing in a pot of disagreement, when each one becomes an ingredient to a minute but an immediate change. When a circle gets drawn outside the range given to it by its imaginary borders, it moves forward towards returning to reality as a moon. Appearing as if it could be consumed by the surrounding darkness, yet refusing to fully take part in it, it is lit by reflecting 7% of the sun's light, throwing back a bite-sized amount of rays that are raised during the day. It is able to say, I will take what is needed, offer the world a mirror image of something so much brighter it does not clear the darkness, but will instead provide us with direction along an unintended connection to the stars that are up there amongst it. And it is within this that we are reminded of our resourcefulness, of the course that gets charted when we resort to giving more back to the world around, using less when we make progress out of the small slices of a much bigger and a brighter pie, when I becomes a means to see a glimpse of we as we become great, beginning to relate pictures from a finer point of a film we find ourselves starring in, when we become constellations to a greater conversation, timed around contemplating the courage that it takes to look up. When the world seems down, to peering past the before and now to write marriage vows to what we will read our beautiful tomorrows to be. To be what comes next, to be what happens after the stimulations or sensations found in love and life and laughter leave us. Will we then just trust that there is still something to live for? Will we believe that love can be conceived again? Will we perceive the possibility of punchlines prepared to beat the smiles back onto our faces? Will we receive the various faces, the various phases of that circle in the sky, retrieving the answers to questions that are only ever guesses, the quest of why it all happens, of why we keep arriving back at the place we started, back at the same beginning of an ever-changing circle of life.